Hello again, it is me, Fly Girl Lindsay, coming in to you with my 2.5 year post-op Q&A video part 2. So I'm just going to jump right in because I have a meeting and I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of seeing my face because I've been on the interwebs for 35 minutes total today already. Like, you're like, oh my god, stop talking. So I'm going to jump right in. Gina Watson asks if I still have good restriction. Yeah, I think so. I mean, some days are better than others, but for the most part, I think I definitely still have restriction. It's not like, 6 months post-op or 3 months post-op for sure. But yeah, I still have good restriction. I feel I definitely know when I'm full. I can eat more than I thought I would ever be able to, but I'm not. It's still way less. It's still good. Yeah. I do. Okay. Lacey Randall says, hi, Lindsay. Do you have any tips about drinking after weight loss surgery? At what point did you start? Okay, so she has 3 questions. Tips about drinking after weight loss surgery. Don't for a little while. I've said this all along. That's something I wish I'd done differently, is to wait a year for drinking. And then when you do drink, I think it's unreasonable, especially, well, I don't want to say especially, but I think it's unreasonable to say you're never going to drink again unless you're an alcoholic and you don't drink anyway, or you don't like it or whatever. But when and if you do drink again, make sure you're somewhere safe when you first have your first drinks, because you don't know how it's going to affect you. And sometimes different alcohol affects you differently. For example, like, I drink wine and I will get drunk on wine, but I can drink vodka like there's no tomorrow and never really feel drunk. I might feel more uninhibited. I don't even necessarily feel buzzed, but I will feel more relaxed and more free, but I will never feel drunk on vodka unless I've had like a lot. And then it's like, just as I'm starting to unwind for the night, then I'm like drunk. Like, but I can drink a lot of vodka before that happens. So like, I have to monitor that. So just make sure you're somewhere safe. You don't drive, those kinds of things. Lacey also asks, at what point did you start weightlifting or doing other things besides cardio? I love weightlifting. So I think I started legitimately weightlifting I was probably about 8 or 9 months post-op. I did cardio primarily and a little bit of weightlifting, but in terms of like weightlifting 3 or 4 days a week consistently, I was about 8 months post-op, and I love it. So, yeah. But do it as soon as you can. Like, weightlifting is only going to help you. Seriously, it's amazing. So do it as soon as you're cleared to work out. I would start a program. What are some of your favorite post-op desserts? Frankly, the darker the chocolate, I just have 1 or 2 squares of dark chocolate. That's what I eat for my dessert. I don't eat ice cream. I don't do popsicles. I don't believe in sugar-free or low-fat things. I just do, I'd probably say 80 to 90% dark chocolate. And sometimes I do it with sea salt, and sometimes I do it with mint. But for the most part, it's just a square or 2 of dark chocolate every once in a while. Lori Ininguez asks, what are your best and worst pieces of advice you've received during your journey? And she asked another question. I'll get to that. The best piece of advice I received was actually from Lacey. And I cannot remember her YouTube handle. I think it was like Lacey RNY or something. Anyway, she made a series of videos. I believe she took them down shortly after she made them, but I don't know for sure. But she made a series of videos about not making any major life decisions for the first year after surgery. And that came at a point in my journey where I needed to hear that. Like, basically, she's like, all your hormones that get dropped through your fat cells fuck you up. So don't make any major life decisions because you can't trust yourself. And that's not true for everybody, but it was certainly true for me. So things changed around the 1 year mark when things started to settle down for me. And I was really glad I listened to that advice, because my life would look really different had I made some of those decisions I thought I was going to make a year post-op. Worst advice? Eat low carb. When did you start drinking? Oh my God, because I'm drinking from a straw right now. When did you start drinking from a straw? Was that always allowed in your plan? They never really said I couldn't drink from a straw. That was not a strict thing from my surgeon. And probably the first time I ever had iced coffee, I drank from a straw. I bet it was like 6 months out. It wasn't a big deal. And I drink from a straw all the time. So it actually helps me get it down, because I can take like 2 or 3 sips. Like, I can get a little bit more. And I don't spill it all over myself, because basically I have a hole in the bottom of my chin. So helps me stay clean. Rhea Reloaded says, in her WLSFA recap, Liz described Rhea as gorgeous and delightful. How would you describe me? Obviously, all of those things as well. No, Rhea, you're amazing. Seriously, you're so lovely. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Have you ever considered or thought you needed a therapist to deal with any issues pertaining to weight and or weight loss, such as addiction, stress, emotions, etc.? I have been seeing a therapist for weight and weight loss since well before surgery. None of it's helped me. I still see a therapist. I see a therapist once a month. I actually saw a psychiatrist for a little while, only because he was a referral from a friend who had weight loss surgery, and she said he was really good with that. But I never found, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I never found it overwhelmingly helpful. When it comes to jobs, relationships, friendships, family, I feel like that's where I get the benefit from surgery or therapy, excuse me. But I've never really felt like any of my food issues have really been addressed in therapy. And I've tried a lot. But that's just me. So I'm a tough case, I guess. Renee DeGroat said that Trisha covered most of her questions, so see part 1. Renee says, I would love to know how you stay so motivated and energized. I stay energized because I'm an Energizer bunny. I just am that way. But I am not always motivated. Sometimes I really do believe you have to fake it till you make it. Like, I didn't want to eat clean yesterday. I wanted to go fucking have Carl's Jr. and donuts. I don't eat like that normally. Just keep that in mind. But those are the things that sometimes I think about. But I faked it until I made it, meaning I ate clean yesterday. I pretended to want to, and I got through it. And today I'm doing the same thing. Like, I woke up and I'm like, I'm really hungry. I want a breakfast sandwich. No, I'm going to have my Shakeology, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and I'm going to drink 2 of these, and then I'm going to have lunch. You know, like, that's going to be my plan. I'm going to fake it till I make it. So sometimes that carries me until I actually start to pick up motivation and see results and feel better. And then I'm motivated all on my own. But I really do think fake it till you make it is actually pretty fucking awesome, good advice. What advice would you, Renee also asked, what advice would you give someone if they haven't been working out during their weight loss phase? Is it best to join a gym or hire a trainer? Both. I mean, I guess it depends on what your goals are. I think weightlifting is really important. I think getting a trainer for a little bit to get into a weight training routine and learn how to use the machinery at the gym. You can also do at-home programs. I'm a Beachbody coach, so you can always reach out to me if you want some suggestions on things to do at home that work just as well. I have lots of people who get great results using that. If you're insecure about joining the gym, that might be the way to go, is to do something at home that you can do in the privacy of your own home until you start to feel comfortable. I do both. I work out at home. I do cardio at home. I've done weightlifting programs at home that were very successful, and I do weightlifting at the gym. I don't tend to do cardio at the gym because I don't like the machines, but I do. I mean, I do all of it. So I think it depends on what you like to do. I think the first thing to do is what do you like to do, what your goals are in terms of fitness and health and body composition, and then go from there. And you can reach out to me on a private level and we can talk more about it. I'd be happy to lend some advice. I would like to, Renee also asks, I would like to know how you handle upping your calories or food when you increase exercise. Let's see, Renee, you say here you're around 700 calories. Again, I would recommend you Facebook me. I have some thoughts on this for you. I don't increase at this point. I don't increase my calories based on exercise. I increase my carbs. So, but I eat 1250 calories to 1300 calories a day. So I don't know how far out you are. So I don't know how far out. It depends on how far out you are if 700 calories is an appropriate range for you. But talk to me on Facebook and I'll tell you what I know about macros and calories and exercise and carbs and all that stuff. Jill Wegener Burkhart asks, at 2.5 years out, how much are you able to consume at a meal? I can eat anywhere from 3/4 of a cup to sometimes 2 cups of food, depending on what it is. My chicken salad, I usually eat about 3/4 of a cup to a cup. And that's all I can eat. Salad, I can usually eat about a cup and a half to 2 cups, depending on how much meat I put in it. I can eat more chicken than I can beef. I can eat 4 ounces of chicken. I can eat a 4-ounce hamburger patty. But I can only really eat 2 or 3 ounces of steak and 2 ounces of pork because, like, bacon is unlimited. I have an unlimited sleeve when it comes to bacon. But when it comes to like pork chops and stuff, I don't eat them. I can't. Pulled pork, same, 3 or 4 ounces. If it's soft and saucy, I can eat more of it. But if the more dense it is, the less I can eat. Um, yeah, I'd say a cup to a cup and a half of food is generally my average serving. Sometimes two. It kind of depends, but not usually as much as that. Do you still follow the rule of not drinking for half an hour after eating? Absolutely. In fact, I can't physically do it. And that's what I was going to say in my last video or my first video today, my check-in video, I've got a meeting in 20 minutes, so I got to go soon. But, I was at the winery last weekend and I had eaten, a couple of times throughout the evening and I wasn't full. Like it was an hour after I'd eaten last, but I was trying to drink water and I was trying I don't know why I had it in my mind. I had to finish my water before we left. I didn't. I could have taken it with me, but I was trying to drink my water and it got stuck. My water got stuck right here and I had to throw up. Like I only threw up the water, but I got super sick. It was weird. Anyway, so yes. And I usually, my rule is 5 minutes before, 20 minutes after. I almost always wait 20 to 30 minutes, especially if I've eaten a lot or dense food, like something that's really sitting heavily. I wait longer, but I drink as much as I can in between meals for sure. But I do wait a half an hour. How long did it take for me to get all my water and protein in? I'm like hovering. That's so weird. Here's my forehead, in case you weren't sure. A long time, honestly, like, months and months, like 6 months, I would say 4 months, 5 months, a long time. It takes a long time to get, protein was easier. I think, in the beginning I worked on water because I had a difficult recovery and I was dehydrated. So I focused on water, but I didn't get more than, I got 8 to 10 glasses of water a day in around the 4 to 6 month mark, but I get a gallon of water in a day now. So, and I get all my protein in, but I still have to use shakes. I can't get it all from food. I can't eat that much. So you're 4 weeks out and you're not near 64 ounces and protein is almost impossible. Then you don't like the protein shakes. Try to eat things high in protein to increase your, try to non-fat Greek yogurt. Siggi's is a really good yogurt that's high in protein. Fage Zero or Fage regular. I would not worry about low fat right now. Cottage cheese, egg beaters. Try to get as much of that in as you can if you don't like the shakes. And try different shakes. I mean, I don't know if you've tried Click. Genipro tastes fine to me, but I just started using it actually, probably 2 months ago. I love Shakeology, but Shakeology doesn't settle well with newbies from what I've seen. GNC has a good brand called Amplified 60, and just one scoop of that is 20 grams of protein. So that's worth trying. It's thin, so it's, pretty low carb, low fat. It's just protein. So just keep experimenting, getting samples of different protein shakes, because honestly, at this point, like, you're not going to get your protein really any other way at 4 weeks out. You can't really eat all that much. So I don't know. I know that's not great advice. I'm sorry. Willow Girl says, do you think your weight issue came due to a family genetics, or were you the only one to suffer with weight gain? If I have siblings, are they on the larger side? I definitely get it from my mom's side of the family. Everyone on my dad's side is thin. My brother, his weight waxes and wanes, but for the most part, he's an average sized person. So, yeah, it's definitely in my family for sure. Erica Ernsberger says, hi, my question is how to handle the continuing up and down of weight, only a few pounds, but not reaching goal. How do you mentally handle it and keep at it? I don't know how I handle it. I mean, what's the alternative, I guess? You know what I mean? Like, trust me, there are some days I want to jump off the roof, but you know what? That's just going to break my leg. Unless I dive off the roof, I'm just going to break my leg. It's going to suck. So, I just keep, I've been up and down the same 10 pounds for almost a year, and at least the last 6 months. And I just keep thinking, I didn't, just what Tessa keeps saying, I didn't come this far and only come this far. Like, giving up is not an option. But at the same time, if you're within a reasonable range, depending on where your range is, I don't know that much about you, in terms of what your weight is right now. But, if you're only 10 or 15 or 20 pounds away from your goal, that's a normal problem. That's awesome. Maybe that's what your goal, maybe that's where your body wants to be. I'm 30 to 50 pounds away from where my body should be. But that's not to say that I'll get there. I know, but over 200 pounds is not an option for me. But yeah, if it's health issues, I mean, talk to your doctor. If your doctor's not helping you, talk to a naturopath. Naturopaths do a lot of great stuff. And just kind of try to beat that, I guess, see what you can find out about how to treat those health issues that you think are holding you back. Because I can relate to that. I gained 23 of my 30 pounds from steroid shots and birth control, so I get it. Kim Gibbs says, how does it feel to be amazing and gorgeous? I mean, obviously it feels pretty good. So, yeah. What are your thoughts on calories versus exercise? Some people talk about increasing calories to fuel the body, and I see others busting their ass at the gym and eating 700 calories. I know some of that varies by person as far as how it works, but what are your personal observations? I think that in terms of weight loss, for weight loss surgery people, we should not be eating our exercise calories, meaning if you have a calorie goal, you should stick to that goal whether you work out or not. But it does mean that you probably need to change your nutrition a little bit, meaning I mentioned this before. My calorie goal is 1250. I try to stay within 50 calories on either end of that, but I increase my carbs 30 grams. So my goal on a regular day is 88 grams of carbs. On a workout day, it's 113 grams of carbs. So that means I'm probably doing more of like a drink that has like electrolytes in it and stuff like that has carbs and that kind of stuff in it. Or that's the day that I eat more fruit in my shake. You know, I add a banana to my shake or whatever. I think for us, for weight loss for now, I think like working out your ass off at the gym and eating 700 calories, I think is a bad idea. Personally, I look at The Biggest Loser and look at those stats, right? I mean, that's my take on it. Your body does need fuel, but it doesn't, but at the same time, if you're eating enough to lose weight and then you're working out to lose weight, I think I'm burning something in the kitchen, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. I don't think you need to increase your calories necessarily very much on the days that you work out, but you do want to make sure from a nutritional standpoint, you're getting enough protein, you're getting enough carbs. So I hope that answers your question, Kim. Dazzle VSG says, if there's anything you would change about your journey and where you're at right now, would you? Yeah, obviously I would be a goal. She says, if so, what would it be? I would be 100% on point all the time. I would be perfect. I would weigh 150 pounds. I would be fucking ripped. I'd be looking at plastic surgery consults the day after my wedding. I already thought the landscaping people came. Anyway, dog, squirrel. Yeah, I mean, I would be a goal. I would have gotten to goal. I wouldn't be here. But, you know, at the same time, there's value. I mean, I'm a normal person and there's value to all the things. So maybe it is what it is and it's meant to be. Maybe I needed to go through this so when I get there, I appreciate it more, right? I mean, maybe. Terry Santiago says, how consistent are you on what items, what are non-negotiables, and what do you struggle with the most? I am most consistent and is a non-negotiable is getting in my water. I at least get in 64 ounces, but I almost always get in a gallon. So 64 ounces is eight cups of water, 8-ounce cups. I at least get that like on even bad days. But I usually get in a gallon. So I drink a lot. This is 3 cups right here. I drink at least 5 of these, almost 5 of these a day. So yeah, that's a big deal. Not 5, maybe 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yeah, about 5. So, that is non-negotiable because I feel better. My whole life is better when I'm, drinking water. I'm also I think sleep is important. So I really try hard to get good sleep and quality sleep. And, yeah, but other than that, I mean, I consistently work on portion control and I really go in and out on meeting all my other stats, to be honest. But I struggle the most with, you know, balancing my social life with my wish to not drink. It's when I have a glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine, I tend to eat or make worse choices, food-wise. And then once I kind of start down that path, it's really hard for me to get off. And I do get off. I almost always get off. I do, but I struggle with it. It's a constant struggle. So, okay, you guys, I hate to be fast and hurry, and I hope I answered your questions. You guys, the questions were so good and so thoughtful, and I thought you guys I mean, like the last time I did a question and answer, the questions were good, but these were like really good. I'm so impressed by you guys, seriously. So thanks for tuning in, and you're rad. The raddest. Obs. And I will get this posted. Oh, Kent is calling again, so gotta go. Keep it fly out there. Bye!